All right, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know it's nice out, so we'll try to keep it nice and brief. Get right to the point tonight. But I'm joined today by both Emma and Erin Carlo, alums of our Disney College program, and they both can give you a good idea of what it's like to be a participant in the Disney College program. My name is also Erin. I work in the Office of Admissions, so if you have any questions regarding admissions about Niagara, I can help answer questions. But feel free to put questions in the chat at any time, and we'll get to those at the end. All right, so I'll hand it right over to Emma and Erin.
Awesome. Welcome, everybody. My name is Emma Carlo. I am a second semester senior here at Niagara. I study tourism destination management with a minor in Spanish. I completed my Disney College program in the spring of 2019, and I actually worked in Bell Services, so I did luggage work. So I did transfers with luggage from resort to resort. I managed guest luggage upon check-in and check-out. I also managed a lot of guest questions and did a lot of front desk duties through that position, and just sort of got to know resorts as far as Disney is concerned. So I'm really excited to present to you today with my sister, since we both did the program, and she actually continued on to her career with the Walt Disney Company. So we can click to her slide, Erin, and then I'll leave it to Miss Erin here.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm super honored to be here today to be able to share a little bit about my experience with Disney with you all. I did my first Disney College program in 2016, and I was a character attendant at Hollywood Studios. And then the second college program I did was in 2018, and I worked in special events and conventions. I did end up doing a professional internship after that, where I worked at the Disney Service Center for the college program participants. And then after that, I started my full-time job. I work currently as an associate with Disney Vacation Club. I've been with that team for about 2 years. So I currently live in Orlando. I do still work full-time in the parks and resorts. A lot of changes have happened with our company, with our business in particular, in terms of working from home, but I am still out there making magic for families every day. So I'm happy to be here today and excited to answer any questions that I can.
Excellent. All right, so we'll get started. So you guys are all here for a reason, the Disney College Program. So whether or not you've heard about it in detail or just generally, I want to go over basically what the Disney College Program is and how it applies to Niagara University in particular. So the Disney College Program is an internship where you go to Walt Disney World in Orlando, or you go to Disneyland in California. And in both of those internships, you will learn through seminars, through classes, and through your coursework for Niagara. You will live, so there's an opportunity to live in Disney housing, which they're coming out with brand new housing. So if you guys go in the next couple of years, you're going to be super lucky. They're beautiful, beautiful units. And then you earn. So with whatever position you end up with, you will be making money and learning about the industry through the Walt Disney Company. So that applies, which is really great because it applies to much more than just hospitality majors. So though I study tourism, you can be of all backgrounds. Erin studied English and communications, and anyone business marketing can really find a benefit through this program. So we can move on to the next slide and sort of get started onto this learning and earning and what the Disney College Program is about. So as far as Niagara goes, this is not every school. So our school offers a really special opportunity for you to actually earn credits when you return from the Disney College Program. So you are set up with an advisor before you leave. The advisor is a faculty member of Niagara. They will give you coursework and syllabus, everything, and treat it almost like a class. So when you go down to Disney, you'll be completing assignments. It's not too heavy. They know you're working 40 hours a week, but it's just to make sure that you are gaining experience back to Niagara through this program. And because of this, since you have an advisor and you have coursework, you will earn 12 to 15 credit hours towards graduation. 12 hours is more towards if you complete just the normal semester-long internship. So Disney offers for the college program a fall internship that normally goes about like late August, early September to December, and then a spring program that is January to May. So if you extend off of those programs, so if you go for the spring program program and you're like, wow, I love my position, I love living in Florida, I would love to do it for the summer, you can extend, and at that point, depending on how the university is working and everything, you'll discuss with your advisor, but you can get up to 15 credits that way. So another really cool point about this is if you are interested in studying hospitality, coming to Niagara, you'll realize that this school is dedicated to getting you the information and learning on campus, but pushing you off campus to actually get those hands-on in-person experiences to make sure that what you are learning, engaging in, and getting a degree for is actually what you want to be doing. So if you are studying hospitality, for example, you are given the goal of reaching 800 hours of industry work before you graduate. This sounds a little crazy. It's not. I managed to do it. I managed to exceed it. And the Disney College program, just on that base 5-month internship, offers you about 500 of those hours. So that's really like a great way to earn your experience towards that. All right. So I'll pass this honestly over to Miss ERIN because she worked in the Disney housing, and she was actually doing her internship at the housing when I lived there for mine. So it was really cool to be able to go to the service center and see my sister. So I'll hand this one to her.
Yeah, and I'll preface, Emma already touched on this a little bit, but right when Walt Disney World kind of saw a lot of change last March, basically when the whole world decided it was going to change, we were in the process of moving from our original 4 housing complexes over to a few of the more brand new, fully furnished, just constructed housing complexes. So I worked in the original ones because the new ones weren't open yet, but a lot of your experience and living in the complexes is going to be the same either way. It's just that if you look on YouTube right now and you were to search Disney College Program housing, all of those videos are going to be from folks who did the program before Walt Disney World closed last March. So just keep that in mind. But a few things that you can definitely look forward to when you're living is you do have the option, if you meet people before your internship starts and you want to live with them, there is an option where you can request to have certain roommates. I did that on my second college program. So the person who I lived with was from Pennsylvania. We met on Facebook and we went that direction. But the first time that I did the college program, I went in and I did what we used to call the roommate lottery. So I just went in and I met my roommates on the very first day of the program, which can seem kind of scary. But at the same time, I feel that I've made some really lifelong friendships from doing that. And it also challenges you to really grow as a person. There's not a lot of opportunities in your life where you'll be walking in and then finding out what is happening on the very day of, but that does challenge you to grow, like Emma mentioned, outside of the 4 walls of the classroom. Within also just living in the complex, so you will have access to certain amenities that are pretty amazing. You'll have a 24-hour gym. You'll have pools available. The new complexes they're building the pools are phenomenal. They're building in a resort style pool, so it'll have a lazy river right in it, which is kind of cool. They'll have a education center that is available to you as a resource if you're doing classes through Niagara. If you're going to be doing classes through the Disney College program, they're going to have a lot of resources there for you. And they'll also have people who can assist you in taking the next step with your career. That is where I was primarily focused when I did my professional internship. Folks would arrive to the service center and just say, how do I stay here? How do I take my career to the next level? So you have all of those resources available to you. And even more than that, one other thing I'll mention too, that's right on the screen here, is our transportation system. So this is another thing that's going to be brand new once the new complex is open, but historically what we've offered is a bus system that is specifically for college program students. It's safe because only the students that are participating in the college program can use this bus system. So it's not part of the Orlando public transport system. And you would have access to, of course, all of the parks and resorts, Disney Springs, the water parks, all of the Walt Disney World locations. But it would also take trips off campus. So if you wanted to go to the Florida Mall, if you wanted to go to SeaWorld, Universal, some of the trips even went all the way out to Cocoa Beach, over to Clearwater or Tampa. We had trips for those places as well. So you can really, like I keep mentioning, you grow so much as a person by doing the Disney College program because you just get outside of your bubble. Having grown up right in Buffalo, New York, I definitely was very used to my bubble. And then I did the Disney College program, and I think it just fast tracked me to being in a position where I was very comfortable being uncomfortable. So yeah, that's a short soundbite of the housing piece of the Disney College program.
Awesome. So through this as well, like ERIN said, like growth is definitely like the key word when it comes to doing the college program. So a big part of that is your resume building and your networking. Resume building is the easiest part of doing the Disney College program because the program itself sets you apart from everyone else that didn't do it. As I go to career services at Niagara, if you guys have attended an event at Niagara before, you know we have access to career services, which offers like resume help finding a job, career expos, and all of that. Every time I go to them, they take my Disney College program experience wherever it lies and throw it to the top, just because it is such a great talking point, and because employers know the quality of work that you did when you were down there on the college program. So another part of that is because it's world-renowned entertainment and hospitality. So connected to hospitality, incredible experience, but even if you're not in the hospitality department, still like top-notch experience for your resume. Also the networking opportunities. No matter where you are placed for your position, you will be meeting and working with people from all over the world in all different positions, from janitorial to basically like proprietors of resorts. You'll meet everybody. So it's great to really start to like, if you do this like earlier in your college career, sophomore year, junior year, to get your feet wet with networking and meeting people and seeing their work ethic as well. And then finally, the professional internship is available. So there are 3 levels of internships through Disney College, through the Walt Disney Company for now. There's the Disney College program, which we're talking about tonight, the professional internship, which ERIN engaged in by doing her work at the service center, and then there's management internships, which is 1 level even above that. So once you do the Disney College program, you have a better chance and a better grasp on those other 2 internships to pursue those in the future.
And I'll add in too that I'm currently in the process of applying to other jobs within the Walt Disney Company. It's just, you know, pretty standard that you are always looking at different opportunities around and networking to find out who knows who. And I will say that this is probably true in the modern world in general, but especially at Walt Disney World, it's all about, you know, who you know and being able to recall, you know, certain names of people that you've worked for or worked with, even years after you've done so. The Walt Disney Company was built around the facet of family. So we are all, that's why we wear our name tags over our left side, over the heart. And we are all on a first name basis. That was something that Walt himself was very passionate about and driving forward when he first developed the idea of Disneyland. So just, you know, I know that that's kind of cheesy, but at the same time, I do like to make sure that that point is particularly driven home, so that, you know, if you do participate in the Disney College program, you should feel no apprehension at all about truly just walking up to people and saying, hey, what's your role? What do you do? Everybody loves that. So that's a big part of it.
Awesome. So this is my favorite part, and will probably be all of your favorite parts as well. So outside of the living, earning, and learning, you get tons of benefits through working for Disney. With working for the Disney College program, you get free admission to the theme parks. I can't tell you how many days, like I think about it all the time, ERIN, but like how many days I would go to work from like 6 a.m. to 3:30 and then meet you at Animal Kingdom, or meet you, you know, for fireworks later in the evening at Magic, or go to Disney Springs and grab dinner at Raglan Road. Like, it is so possible to literally, if you want to go to Disney every day, you can. And like ERIN said before, how this sort of widens your like scope from just like your hometown to much bigger, is that outside of Disney, because we have like access to the transportation, and because Central Florida is so centrally located to different things, we visited beaches, we went surfing, we went swimming with manatees, we, you know, visited different cities and surf towns. So that's another really cool part about doing the program, is that you're not just stuck to Disney, but if you want to be, you totally can. And you can go to those theme parks every day. Like, I would just go, even by myself sometimes, listen, put my music in, go on my favorite rides and hang around. So that's definitely something you can do while you're on the program. Also discounts. So like I said, there is that fall program and the spring program. Both have their benefits and their downfalls and everything else in between. But as far as the discounts go, on a general level, as a college program participant, you'll get a 20% off on merchandise, the majority of food and beverage, and then you'll get just different discounts on room accommodations. Just for being a cast member. During the Christmas season, you actually get an even added bonus. I believe it's like 40% or something like that on merchandise. So it's just like another great way for like if your family is super into like all the merch and everything, you can get all of your Christmas gifts done at once for a way discounted price. And then as far as Niagara goes, this is a major benefit is the fact that since you are gaining credits and it counts as a semester down there, you do not jeopardize your financial aid or your enrollment status if you accept that internship. And that is of course dependent on, you just need to communicate with the advisor who will be made obvious to you when you apply. You'll be let know and everything like that. But yeah, if you do it through the university and you choose to do it credit bearing, then you will not jeopardize anything regarding that at Niagara. Okay, so eligibility wise, as far as Niagara goes, you must meet the following requirements. So you have to have space on your curriculum card. So my advice from being a senior to you guys, regardless of your major, is go and see your personal advisor starting like even first semester freshman year. Once you guys get comfortable and settled in, go see your advisor and tell them, hey, I would love to do the Disney College program. Can you let me know where I can fit it? What classes to avoid doing so I can do them down there? Any of those questions, just so that they know that you are interested in doing it. So you do need that space. For hospitality and tourism majors, it's really nice because those credits can go into your electives under your major. But for other majors, it might go into the general electives. Also, you must have at least sophomore status. This kind of works out in the time that we're in because currently they're not offering programs. They're looking at the fall, but again, you guys will have that extra year to settle into school before you need to worry about it. And hopefully by then we'll be fully back in motion COVID wise. Must have a GPA of at least 2.5. I get a feeling from these screens, just seeing your names, I know you're a bunch of smart kids, so that won't be a problem. On that note, no previous disciplinary problems. That's a big thing with Disney too, is they don't want you coming in causing problems. And then secure approval of the Disney internship coordinator. So on campus right now, that's Dr. Huh. That might change by the time you come here, but that's that advisor that I was talking about. All right. So I want to do this what next and also just talk a little about the application process just so you guys get a good grasp on what it's going to look like when you do choose to apply. But this is just a few helpful links for you guys. So visit the college program website. I recommend personally, participants make so many videos on YouTube about their dorm tours, about their days in the park vlogs, about their positions. So if you're at all interested tonight, even just look up Disney College program on YouTube and you can find some videos that way. And then I'm your current campus rep until the end of this year, but I'm going to be around after, so I'll put my information in the chat. So always feel free to email me and then or text or call me. Right now, the Disney internship coordinator is Dr. Hall, like I said. And then, yeah, remember you must see Dr. Hall with your offer letter before you accept the internship. Now, talking about the application process, and Erin, feel free to jump in if you have any other points or anything, but basically how it will look for you guys is at the end of your freshman year, say you're looking to apply for the fall of your sophomore year, you will apply when the application comes out. So I'm pretty sure that it was for fall, the application will come out like late spring. So look for that. The base application is just getting to know you. So it will ask you like your name, some general questions, roommate questions, just because that's important for you living there. But you're not talking to anyone, it's not time sensitive. So that's pretty casual. If you get through that round, then you will move on to a web-based interview. So this is a little more like time stressy just because it's about like, I can't remember how many questions it was. I would say it was at least 50 questions and all of the questions were on a range. So it would be like rank or like click where you range on this question. The question will be like, I work well in a team. And it's like, I don't work well at all. I kind of work well, you know, I work very well, and it's a whole range. My recommendation, again, from going through this, no matter where you answer on one extreme end of the spectrum, because that middle answer doesn't, neutral, they don't look for neutral, they just look for those extremes. So then off of that, you get about 20 seconds, 30 seconds per question. If you miss a question, don't worry about it, just get on to the next one. And then if you pass that, you will immediately be set up to organize a phone interview. So this is the part that for a lot of college students is kind of like the toughest pill to swallow, because it's normally your first interview, especially phone interview. It's a little stressful, but could not be more casual. All you do, you'll schedule your phone interview time. On that call, you will talk to a Disney recruiter who works for the Walt Disney Company. They'll call you, and the conversation will be 20 to 30 minutes, again, getting to know you, your personality. And it's really at that point, seeing where you would be best placed for a role. So in that web-based interview, and in that, it's actually in that application process, you will mark off your interest level in different positions. So they'll list you off 20 possible jobs, and then you'll say like super interested, not interested at all. Again, recommendation, if you're not interested in a position, if you do not want to do custodial, put 0 interest for it, because even if you put low interest for any position, you can be considered for it. So on that phone interview, though, is where they will ask you more role specific questions. They might ask you, like, if you put an interest in attractions, they may go, okay, well, say that a young guest came up and they are too short to ride the, you know, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. How do you handle that situation? So it'll be more situational questions, seeing, grasping where you would best fit for your actual position. But again, as far as all 3 steps of that application process, there are videos and resources on YouTube. People even record their phone interviews. So that's definitely an option for you as well. But just so you guys get a base idea of how it would work. And then after that is all said and done, that entire process can take up to 3 months. It can range from literally like 2 weeks to 3 months, and just waiting to see if you got the position or not. And then for the fall, say that you are starting in September, the first week, you'll probably get your actual placement of your like location within 5 days to a week before you leave. So you won't know where you'll be until about a week before your program starts, but you'll know what position you'll be in when you get accepted to the program. So those are my major points on sort of the application, everything there.
Yeah, I'll jump into, Emma covered like basically all the main points. So I was like struggling trying to think of what else I was going to say. But yeah, the application process is, like Emma mentioned, it's normally the first application process that people will go through after actually going through like a university application process. So it is different in the sense that you're not writing any essays, you're not, you know, answering DBQs or anything like that. It's really based on your personality. So the biggest thing to remember that when you're interviewing with Disney, whether you're doing the phone interview or doing the web-based interview, just to be yourself, right? Just to be genuine and be authentic to who you are. Try not to overthink it. And you're going to be setting yourself up for success in doing that, because then you'll probably be placed in a role that's going to be matched pretty well to your strengths and your abilities, and it's going to challenge you anyways, because it's going to be the first time that you're ever doing a role like that, because there's not really a lot of places you can work that are exactly the same as working at Disney, which plays also well to your resume, and being able to reference that experience no matter where you end up after that. One other thing I was going to mention, one other thing I was going to mention was that, so maybe a little bit different than other companies, when Disney accepts college program students and onboards them into the operation, you are treated the exact same way as any full-time or even a part-time or seasonal cast member would be treated. So you do the same onboarding that they would be doing for a full-time cast member. So what does that mean? Well, one of the best things I think about the onboarding training is the traditions class that all cast members have to do, whether you work in Disneyland, California, Paris, Hong Kong, Tokyo, Shanghai, Aulani in Hawaii, or right here in Florida. Everybody goes through the same traditions class, and it really just puts you in the mindset of being the best possible Disney cast member, and you just really understanding the heritage of the company that you're working for, because Disney does recognize that as young people, we can choose to go basically anywhere to do those internship hours that Niagara requires of us. So Disney wants to make sure that they really provide you with a well-rounded onboarding experience so that you do feel like you're 100% part of the family. You're not just a temporary employee. So I think that they do a nice job with that, especially right from the get-go.
All right. So, heading over here, we have quick notes on the Disney Institute and Trek. So these are just two quick hospitality industry related opportunities that Niagara offers. So after I came home from the Disney College program, I had the opportunity to actually continue my experiences with the Disney company by picking up an internship with Niagara, working on an event called Disney Institute. So Disney Institute is sort of a facet of the Walt Disney Company. They host informational seminars and events that are about leadership, about employee engagement, about management, all different topics. And different organizations in different convention centers will hire on Disney Institute to present to a group of professionals. So that's what we did here. Was Niagara University actually presented Disney Institute to have their seminar to over 250 attendees every year. So when I came back from the Disney College program, I reached out because I knew that this was an opportunity through the College of Hospitality and Tourism. I reached out to the advisor of that program. I said, I'm very interested in Disney. I'm very interested in events. I'd love to continue my work with Disney past just the college program. So for 2 years, 2019 and 2020, I was the lead student intern for this event. So I managed all email communications, I managed phone communication, set up with the convention center and back and forth with different members of different leaders and different business professionals who would be attending the event. So that was incredible event experience for me. And if you can see in this picture, actually, there's a little hand sanitizer station right behind me. This event happened on March 12th of 2020. So that was the day that the NHL shut down, that both of the Buffalo St. Patrick's Day parades were canceled, which if you guys remember, if you're from Buffalo, that's a massive deal for us. And basically everything was falling apart. So it was really cool because the event still went on. It was completely successful. We managed everything, but the 48 hours before that was the most crucial event management experience I ever got, because I got to talk to so many Canadian attendees who said, our president, Justin Trudeau, or prime minister, just told us that we shouldn't cross the border for non-essential travel. What are we going to do? So it was really incredible to sort of have that experience. So yeah, but through Disney Institute, it sort of taught me in that event role how to lead, how to manage volunteers, how to work with other people in the community, and work with business professionals who were kind of above me because I was just a student. But all of those organizational skills and more are opportunities through Disney Institute. And again, this Niagara University's presentation of Disney Institute is what you can get involved in if you come to Niagara. So unfortunately, because of COVID, we didn't have an event this year in person, but hopefully we can bring back the program next year. We have a very strong relationship with Disney Institute and the Walt Disney Company. So if you guys are interested, and even if you can't swing doing the Disney College program, if you're super interested in event management or just interested in getting involved with the Disney Company locally, look into doing being a lead student intern or being an intern or being even a volunteer for the event, because then you guys can get your feet wet in that capacity as far as the company goes. So and then these were just a couple bullet points on how Disney Institute approaches each of their attendees and what they want the attendees to come out, the learning objectives, because they pay for the program, they get a certificate and everything. So they want you to be able to adapt to Disney's business insights, learn to communicate a leadership vision, apply key elements of Disney's employee engagement, cultivate an organization that supports consistent delivery of excellent service, foster a collaborative environment that draws on creative resources, and practice time-tested principles for building and fortifying your brand. If there's anything that Disney does well is their time-tested principles for building and fortifying your brand. I think that they're probably one of the most known brands in the world. And these are skills that I have learned just from picking up from working for the event. So that's totally an opportunity for you guys as well. And then these are just a couple other ways to get involved as far as Disney goes and hospitality on campus. So if you come to Niagara, again, if regardless of whether or not you can apply or whether or not you can fit the Disney College program, we have the Disney Club. So that's really just a fun-filled club, watching Disney movies, doing Disney trivia, playing Disney games, and they meet on campus. Our CMAA is our Club Managers Association of America. They are super involved on campus. They do a lot of country club work. So if you're at all interested in that, you can get paid internships through that club. In the top right corner, that's our emblem for the Hospitality and Tourism Association. I'm actually a part of that club and the former vice president. It's an incredible club to go visit tours of local areas, get involved in trips that go and visit all across the country and explore the tourism ventures in those different cities, and just meetings about professionalism, LinkedIn, professional dress, and coming and having speakers. Like upcoming, we have a bunch of professional tourism professionals coming to speak at an HTA meeting. And then in the bottom right corner is our Niagara Power. So for those who might be interested in sports management, that is our collegiate baseball team that is actually not connected. It is not our Niagara University men's baseball team. It is a collegiate team owned by Niagara and completely operated by the College of Hospitality and Tourism Management and operated by students. So we were the first university to have this opportunity. So if you are at all interested in sports management, this is one of the best experiences you can get on campus regarding that. All right, and that is pretty much it. So thank you so much for joining us. Please, if you guys have any questions, ask away. Me, Erin, and I are super casual, open to answer anything. So any little or big, feel free.
I actually do have some questions.
Yeah.
I'm actually currently a student. I'm a sophomore at Niagara.
Oh, cool.
And I'm a marketing major. And some of the questions that I had were, you said fall and spring. I had read somewhere about summer internships. Is that a thing?
Yeah, so summer internships through Niagara, to be credit bearing, they want you to do the fall or the spring. The summer program is traditionally for alumni of the program. And tell me if I'm incorrect on that, Erin, or if you have any extra info.
Yeah, no, you got it. So if you've already done a college program, then you do have the opportunity to come back to Orlando or California to do a second college program over the summer. But since it's such a short amount of time that you're actually working and doing the internship over the summer, they do limit it to people who have already completed one, because you do have to have a certain amount of training just to even be considered for that, because they don't have as much time to train you.
Okay. And then another question I had is that if you have a minor, so like the marketing degree audit, it's kind of, there's a lot of classes you have to take, and I have another minor on top of that. How does that, if the college program contributes to the credits that are electives, how does that work? Because I'm assuming that you might know that answer.
So honestly, that would be something I would go to your advisor and sort of explain, because I'm thinking like how they might fit it in that way is if they could get like an online class for your minor for you to complete down there, so that like it sort of splits it up a little bit. Like that's my thought, because I know, yeah, like a lot of your minor classes would go into those general electives, right? Yeah, so I would communicate with them and just ask them, because yeah, I did it through the hospitality program, so mine worked out in that way, but they'll probably be able to sort something out for you, especially if you're like, I'm really passionate about this. And worst comes to worst too, it might be a situation where you complete like 6 classes a semester, a couple semesters get it done. But I think the biggest problem would be fitting it in electives. So I would just communicate and be like, this is really what I want to do. How can I swing it?
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Any other questions from anybody? Awesome.
Yeah, feel free to put questions in the chat if you don't want to unmute yourself too.
I'll share with you guys a quick thing while you're thinking of any other questions that you might have. So just, I don't know, I guess a note on the camaraderie that comes with being a part of Disney. Once you are a cast member once, I mean, you're kind of a cast member forever, and you always have that experience to be able to talk about. And yeah, that's definitely applicable to like professional settings. Like you can be in an interview and be like, yeah, I worked at Magic Kingdom. But it's also applicable just in general. It's a really cool icebreaker. It's a really cool conversation starter. You know, anytime in the future that you have a tell us two truths and a lie, you always have something built in, because one of your truths would be, I was a ghost at the Haunted Mansion, and people might think that that's a lie, but that could actually be your truth. But just, I don't know, you know, I think that that's a really unique component to the college program that you're not going to find in any sort of pamphlet. You're really not going to find it in any sort of blog. It's just that personal touch of being part of the family. For example, Emma and I over the summer would camp out on Lake Erie, and we were just there one night with our family hanging out. And we actually got to chatting with this other family that camps at the same place as us. And the lady was actually part of the Disney College program a couple of years before me. So we spent the rest of the night just chit-chatting about that. And you never run out of things to talk about when it comes to working for Disney. So that's just a small little tidbit of extra little funsies that you wouldn't necessarily gather if you were just looking this up online.
Awesome, thank you, Erin. Does anyone else have any questions or any comments they would like to make? All right, well, if there are no more questions, feel free to hop off the call. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. But if you do think of one, feel free to stay on till the end if you want to just one-on-one talk with Erin and Emma.
Bye, y'all. Thank you so much for coming.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Hi, Chloe.